I am Stacie Riffert, President of Empowered Leadership. My mission is to help small business owners find their freedom by empowering them to confidently lead their organizations. Knowledge is power, or so they say. Does knowledge equal success? I started my career almost 20 years ago now, working at PepsiCo. And over the course of my tenure, I had the honor of being a general manager for a sales and distribution office just outside of Boston. And not long after I got there, I had an opening on my leadership team. And I've got someone in mind that I want to move into that role. His name was Mike. Let me tell you a little bit about Mike. Mike had dropped out of college when he was in his junior year. He was an alcoholic. He was married, he had 2 small kids, and he had a reputation of being kind of negative, being a kind of a naysayer in the organization. So you're probably sitting here now thinking, why in the heck are you fighting to promote this guy into this job? My team was a group of 135 really passionate employees, and they had a family feeling within this location like nothing I had ever seen before at the time. 90% of them had no higher education, and they were almost all doing very labor-intensive jobs. So fit for me was really, really important. So how does that relate back to success? A number of years ago, the Carnegie Foundation conducted a study, and they wanted to know if there were things that would make someone successful regardless of any endeavor. And what they determined was that there are actually 3 key factors for success. And they call it the success triangle. The first factor is knowledge. That's essentially the baseline, the foundation. And anybody in any industry needs to have some sort of knowledge about it, right? The second factor was skill. And the skill is really just the application of that knowledge. What they found, interestingly, was that only 15% of what makes someone successful is their knowledge. The other 85% comes from that skill and from attitude. And attitude is determined to be essentially the most important piece of this triangle. So how does this relate back to Mike? One of the things that I did was I spent a lot of time getting to know my employees, what motivated them and what their dreams were. And I found out a lot of things about Mike that most other people had overlooked. Mike was a brilliant mathematician. He could do projections, forecasts, employee schedules in his head when most of us would have to have these elaborate Excel spreadsheets. He was sober for 10 years at that point. Think about the determination, the self-motivation that it took for him to be able to remain sober and overcome that challenge in his life. He was extremely motivated. He wanted better for his family. But probably for me, the most important quality I saw was that Mike's peers saw him as a leader. They looked up to him. When he spoke, they listened. And he would not afraid at all to identify the problems he saw and potential solutions. I was able to give Mike his shot. I was able to promote him, and in that role, he actually did fantastic. And he brought with that move a sense of hope to the rest of those frontline employees. So why do I talk to you tonight about success? It's because most of the time when people come to me and they tell me that they don't go for a new job or they don't start their own business, it's because they don't know how. If you've got the drive, you can learn the rest of it. So I don't want you to let your fear of not knowing stand in the way of your own success. Contact me for a free 30-minute consultation.